And guess what? People who used to belittle us will get angry for taking away their power over us, and suddenly we are not the oldest manipulated by someone. Hi, welcome to Thatsology, a podcast about lifestyle. My name is Carmelli, and I am your new girl who will be keeping you company and sharing teas. Every Monday, you will get new inspiration on how to be the best version of yourself and how to deal with life itself. You may connect with me on our social media in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at ThatSologyP. Don't hesitate to share your experiences because I can't wait to hear it from you. So, live life, love life. Hi guys, welcome back to my podcast. My name is Carmelli and I'm your host. And last time we just talked about the lessons, or I shared with you guys the lessons that I learned last year 2020 that I will definitely be carrying this year 2021. And now we are going to talk about self-love or self-care. So they said that self-love is not about being selfish. Anyway, I am going to talk about self-love as I've mentioned earlier. So it took me forever to prepare this one because I had to read a lot of books or topics or articles about self-love because I don't want to make a mistake. But anyway, self-love or this episode will not just come from the books, rather from the experience that I had. And so I'm just so excited to share with you guys. And I learned the word self-love when I realized that I am my best friend. I was inspired by different women or people who had the courage to walk out of the negativity and change something in their lives to appreciate their own beauty, of course, inner and outer. So let me define self-love for you. So we always hear about self-love or self-care, right? And as I searched it in Google, there were different meanings of self-love. Some would say it's about yourself, loving yourself, or by depending yourself, by trusting yourself, or by making yourself a priority. Well, all of the definition that I saw in Google, what stood out is that you should be your own best friend no matter what happened. And I mentioned that earlier. And to add to it, it is also about giving yourself some time and acknowledging yourself for being great. Stumbling in some quotation as well, I found Rupi Kaur's quote saying, "How you love yourself is how you teach others to love you." By the way, Rupi Kaur is a Canadian poet, and I admire most of her works, and she really has a talent. Anyway, going back, I used to say this to people who doesn't understand what self-love was and why am I doing it. I used to say that I need to invest in myself to help others, respect for who I am, and at the same time, if I have energy, then I will be an effective companion, friend, daughter to everyone. See, it's not about being selfish. It's just that you are helping yourself to be effective for others. Personally, self-love, it is not just about loving yourself. I must add that self-love is one of the best form of healing. It is the best remedy that you could give to yourself. It helps you to move on with ease when we look back to a certain experiences from people that was once in our lives and realize that we are better off without them. Why am I saying this? Anyway, I could tell you that when someone really broke your heart, may it be your lover, your pet, your friend, your family, your colleagues, and sometimes failures as well, you are making yourself a huge favor by getting to know who you really are without someone else's opinion and decision. And also, you are pushing yourself to move forward and to progress in life as a person. I've been in this situation before, and again, I could tell that really I come to realize that when you are at your lowest, no one will be there for you. No one will understand but you, yourself alone. You got yourself. You are learning how to be independent and how to be okay with being alone and enjoying your solidarity. Am I right? We feel that finally we are free from their judgments, their toxic energy, or should I just say, we are better at our own best. What I noticed in self-love journey was that I had a time to reflect and realize that I still have pending goals to accomplish that made me think of new plans on how to execute them. Don't you just love that when you started becoming yourself again but version 2.0? You have the opportunity to accomplish the things that you wanted to do before, and it feels like life is quite easy. Not really easy, just rather we start to understand that life is this and that. We make it, we choose it. It depends on how are we going to drive ourselves to have the opportunity to improve. And self-love really made me stronger. Believe it or not, I started loving myself and investing more of myself, not just recognizing my thoughts and opinion, but also giving myself a me time at night by taking a warm bath, reading books that I know that will help me in the future, and learning things that, such as baking, drawing, painting, and who could have thought that learning something new will help you get to know and express yourself more. One prime example of this is my sister RJ. She is basically a product of a self-love because she started to take good care of herself, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And guess what? When she was doing her self-love journey, she developed a lot of talents. One of these is learning how to paint. She started painting a dog, then a woman, then different things, and now she sells some portraits of cats and dogs, dogs and cats, cats and dogs. And because, she's a paw parent, so yeah. Lesson: self-love opened doors of opportunities for you. Also, what I love about self-love is that it makes us open our door for people who just wanted to get out of our lives. Am I being too rude in here? Well, I guess not. It's just that you are just cutting some toxic and negative vibes. And it's okay. Really, it's okay because this time you are not asking for their validation. You are asking validation from yourself. And you know what they think that you will chase after them when they walk away. The journey of self-love gives you the confidence that you need to, or you have to, or for you to cheer yourself that everything will be okay, and reminding yourself that you don't need someone's validation anymore just to feel complete. And also, self-love makes us wiser and bolder. We know what we want, and we are not afraid to voice it out loud. If we were able to develop self-love, we would know what's best for us, and we have the courage to say no to people or voice out the things that we want and we don't want. We also have this thinking that we don't want to settle for anything less anymore and can tolerate someone's lies, games, and false promises no matter how much we care about them. In reality, self-love protects us from the things that doesn't matter anymore and just move forward. It guards us against those people who doesn't have the audacity to grow with us, accept us, and teach us, and most importantly, who will genuinely love us for being who we are. Another story, my good friend Jasmine one time approached me and she was having a hard time to please herself and please other people. The thing is, all of us will have this side of being a people pleaser to anyone. But if we think that we are becoming a stagnant water, then cut it. I am not saying you should not talk to them or whatever. What am I saying is, you need to please yourself first before you please others. How can you love someone or please someone if you can't please yourself first? You know what I mean? We should be a stagnant water if we are with somebody. What I mean to say is that being in a safe zone is boring and it will not help us to grow or progress in terms of career, self, and whatnot. Personally, if a person is not helping you and just pulling you down, cut it. I said it more than 3 times. End it. Because in the long run, you will just hurt yourself for holding onto the things that will break you. So, before anything worse happens, end it. If you have the courage to do so, do it. You know, it's normal to get hurt and make mistakes in decision making. And as I've mentioned to one of my episodes, it's okay, you have to recognize it. And you will understand why you did that after a year or so, or it depends on the process that you have. And trust me, you just have to trust the process. You have to feel it, and you have to learn from it. And cope with yourself. If you were with that person for a very long time and you weren't able to do the things that you wanted to do before, do it now. Plan ahead. Start to plan things, and how are you going to execute those things? And while you're on that process of getting to know yourself little by little, the process that you are doing will be the outcome or will be the goal that you wanted to achieve before. So just, be patient with yourself and trust the process. Because sometimes we keep ourselves from being hurt again. And why? Because we don't want to pity ourselves anymore. And self-love allows us automatically to put barriers between us and to those people who hurt us. But on the other hand, self-love is not about being selfish or being heartless, but it only makes us indifferent towards those people who hurt us. It makes us prioritize our mental and emotional well-being first. And based from my experience, self-love made me a fast learner. Because I used to depend on my own. I didn't have anyone to accompany me or to help me but me, myself alone. So in the end, as a result, I pushed myself so hard to learn things such as studying because no one was there to explain things to me. And I remember when I was in university, I had to read thrice some of my paperworks, reviewers, and books because no one was there to help me explain it when I was at my lowest. Not even my colleagues, not even my roommates, because basically they have their own career path and I have my own. I have my school, I have my own study habits, I have my own classes. So, no one will help you. And also learning basic skills. And I also remember when the pandemic started, I had the opportunity to renovate or, clean my room a little. And at first I was like, okay, so my siblings gonna help me with this and that. They will help me how to paint. They will help me with my mirror, with my cabinets, everything. And I ended up doing it myself because they were all busy and I have no one to accompany me, or I got no one to help me do this and that. And because of that, I was forced to learn the basic skills, to paint my room, to a lot of things. I know it's quite tiring, but the result for this one, I felt so accomplished and satisfying moment for me. It feels like I won in a game. I don't know, for me I love it because my hard work, pays off. And do you know what's the best part of self-love? Is that it makes those around us have no power over us. They have no power to hurt us, change our emotions. Their presence and or absence won't kill us or stop us from doing things that matter. Their judgments won't kill us or shatter us anymore. And I just love that fact. And guess what? People who used to belittle us will get angry for taking away their power over us, and suddenly we are not the oldest manipulated by someone and accepting their insults and their toxic opinion. It doesn't mean that we should feel superior around them or being cold-hearted. Only means that we trust ourselves more this time. We respect ourselves for us to help others. It also means that we've worked on for ourselves to be the better version that we wanted to be, our dream life. And trust me, self-love is the result of all those days of healing, as I've mentioned earlier, and all those years of trying to prove to someone that we are better with them. But in reality, it's not. Those moments of loneliness, self-doubt, and the guts to not let anyone shatter us anymore will serve as a ladder to level up the game in this so-called journey of self-love. And now, don't let anyone shatter you anymore, or don't let anyone break what you want to build as a person or the person that you are becoming now. Remember, you are strong, independent, and you will always be loved. So for you to be able to experience those things, you have to love yourself and learn it in the hard way. So yeah, and self-love journey is not easy. It's a process, and it will take time for you to realize it and understand the process, or rather it will help you understand that your life, your roles, and their lives, but at the same time, being alone will learn or will open new windows for you to learn new things. So that's how I define self-love for me. And what about you? How can you define self-love, and do you have any experiences with that? And do you have any thoughts or opinion? If you have any thoughts or opinion, or you were able to relate with my with this episode, you may chit chat with me or follow me on Twitter, Instagram. At the same time, you may message us in our Facebook. Just search @Thoughtsology and you will be connected with us. And we are going to wait for your response. And once again, remember, self-love is a journey and you have to embrace it. Embrace it so that you will get to know yourself as well. And by the way, this is Carmelli, your host. And this is my podcast, Thoughtsology. Stay tuned to my other episodes, and I love you. Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye for now. Alright, thank you so much for your support. Again, this is Carmelli, your host. And if you like it, you may share it and leave a review in iTunes. And also, you may connect with me through our social media at ThetSoljuP. Just find us on Twitter, Instagram, and at the same time on our Facebook page. And we would love to hear from you and your experiences and your thoughts as well. So that's it for today. Hugs and kisses.